because Rutgers won the toss deferred, and so UCLA is going to get the ball first. And this will go through the end zone, a touchback to the 25 for Ethan Garbers. Yogi, we're talking about running the ball, but let's not forget, beside Garbers. And to throw on first down, and that is complete. One of their starred defensive ends today, injured last week, only played 5 snaps in the loss to Wisconsin. TJ Harden. Garbers, and there's Maliki Mataval, and he keeps it going into Rutgers territory. Here's TJ Harden, and another good carry for him. On pressure, Garbers going to Sturdivant, and he can't catch up to it. 6 with the play clock low. Pressure coming up the middle. Garbers stands in and completes it. The Jersey native Jalen Berger has come into the game at running back for UCLA. Quick throw out to Titus Mokiao-Atimalala, and he's getting some blocks. Fullback in the game, Yogi. Leo Kemp. Garbers, pressure, steps up, and is able to get out. And down inside the 10. Rutgers running back Kyle Monangai, highly recruited. And his teammates well aware that they want to get him some action here back home. And he gets that first carry. Here's Berger. Garbers. Loya, end zone, caught. Touchdown UCLA.
Worked that little rub route to perfection.
Mateen Bagati on for the point after UCLA.
But a clean one for UCLA, which is the goal for this one.
Christian Dremel will fair catch it, so that'll come out. Kaliak Manis picks up the pressure, and then he does it. Oluwafemi Oladejo. A lot of movement up front for that UCLA defense, and they back out. Oladejo drops into coverage, and that is Monangai who's able to make the catch, and then Kane Medrano along with Olu. He wants to throw, and he's taking a deep shot for Strong, and he brings it in. Ian Strong. Here's Monangai. Push backwards, pulled forward, and he gets about 3 yards. And Strong making his OC look good there. Kaliak Manis, long throw, and he completes it to Dymere Miller. Wait a second, UCLA's running the ball and Rutgers is hitting explosive.
Exactly what we thought, right?
Monangai, big hole. Kyle Monangai puts a shoulder down and gets another first down.
He's a one-cut runner. What does that mean? You put your foot in the ground and you just violently find a way to explode forward. The tight end with a kick-out block. Nice job.
They're moving quickly. Monangai forcing his way down to the 1. You know, talking to Akaika Malloy, the defensive coordinator for UCLA, he said they practice wrestling one-leg takedowns. 2 extra offensive linemen in the game, and now a flag comes in. They bring in Terrence Salami and Dante Chin. Chris Coit is our referee. Officiated the national championship.
Offside in the neutral zone at the snap, defense number 44.
So 2 extra offensive linemen in the game. Kaliak Manis waiting for a signal. And he's in. Touchdown Rutgers. The backup punter is holding here instead of Jacob Anderson.
If the first quarter tells us anything, guy, we're going to have limited possessions this afternoon.
Oh, there's no doubt. Jack Scalene. I mean, we thought that coming in, but it wasn't necessarily because we expected, you know, long touchdown drives based on the history. Here's Keegan Jones still on his feet, and then gets ripped down. A flag comes in around the 10-yard line.
During the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 33.
Earned touches, and because as he told the team, this is a massive game for Berger coming back to his home state.
Garbers to throw, and there's Mataval, the tight end. Garbers quick throw, First catch for Quasi Gilmer, and with a block, he breaks the tackle, is able to get a first down.
Garbers.
Fullback in the game on first down, and play action. Garbers will get it out to Keegan Jones, and he baits a defender to the sideline and gets very close to another first down.
You know, right.
This is the second drive of the game for UCLA. And Garbers gets it out quickly. Another completion to Bryce Pierre.
Dante Hamilton goes from D tackle to now playing defensive end for Rutgers at the bottom of the screen.
Some movement up front. It looked like Jack Peterson.
UCLA feels they can do that early on in this ball game.
Straight to the ground. Keegan Jones. Does that cut deep if you're only 23 years old?
It's got to.
Garbers on the move. Now turns back and through the hands a little behind.
It's zone coverage.
Sturdivant in motion. Garbers throws another first down to Monteval into Rutgers territory. Third catch of the game for Monteval. Garbers checks it down. TJ Harden, the running back, is leading receiver and is able to get positive yards before DJ Jabome brings him to the turf.
Forcing UCLA to check the ball down, and the thing that UCLA is doing is something they have not done consistently this season, which is just execute. Forcing them to do it is a key part of this game plan.
Garbers throws it back to Harden. That gets sniffed out, and Harden goes down. Garbers has gone to the tight end a couple times when he's needed it. He's going that way again, but it's batted and incomplete.
It'll be a pooch.
Yeah, Garbers backs out. And gets a good bounce. Sturdivant is going to roll down.
The Rutgers staff will be all over that next week.
Kaliakmanis is going to carry it and slide forward across the 10. Creates a little breathing room. Plenty of time. Helmet communication from the offensive coordinator cuts off with 15 seconds on the play clock. Kaliakmanis will hand it to Manungai. Good luck. So they're down to tight ends 3, 4, maybe 5. Pressure comes off the edge. Kaliakmanis steps up, taking a shot for Dremel. Is it any accident that guys like him and Manungai are Rutgers guys are from Jersey? Both went to Don Bosco Prep.
There's man-to-man coverage again.
On second down, Kaliakmanis, and he's going to pull it down again. And he's got a first down, and he steps out of bounds near the 30.
So right now, they're trying to crash on the back every snap.
More pressure. Good protection. Long throw, caught Miller again. His second big chunk play today. And some big chunk plays. That one was 15. Manungai back to the ground, dragged down by KJ Wallace.
Haven't seen it thus far.
Schlesinger came into play today, second in the nation in solo tackles. Kaliakmanis with time. Another shot again for Dremel, incomplete. Oh, that's Ben Black. Manungai. And this is going to be fourth down and less than 2. And he gets it off towards Logan Loya. And he'll fair catch it. So UCLA, after Rutgers flips the field, hands it to Jalen Berger on the first play of the game for a short gain.
When players are coming and going and what their body language is.
Fumble. Garbers picked it up. He was trying to get it to Garbers from his end zone. Cuts it loose, and it's caught. This is going to be very close. UCLA's not been a running team this year, but they've been one so far today. 4th and 1, and Garbers gets it.
I like the call, man.
Wow, that's guts.
Yeah, it's belief, really.
Deshaun Foster always looks so unflappable over there on the UCLA sideline. Here's Harden going nowhere. Garbers on the move. And another catch for Mokiawa Timalala, having a good game.
Okay,
it's
so
near another first down. And on flag.
False start, offense, number 54.
Pressure coming. Garbers checks it down. Keegan Jones, the running back, has the first down, and it's another conversion in this first half. Sets up the screen. There's Harden with a block in front, and he's going to go get another first down for UCLA. Oh, they're both 6'5", 260 plus, too. They're big guys. They make it hard to see. Harden gets bottled up immediately. Tyreen Powell. Already a fourth down conversion on this drive. Garbers steps out of the pocket, makes a man miss. Still on his feet, Ethan Garbers down the sideline. Touchdown, UCLA. Where did that come from? 49 yards on that run. First ever meeting with Rutgers, their first trip here. And now Rutgers will have a little bit of time before the half to try and match them. Now Rutgers has some time, Yogi. This is just their third drive of the first half. Possession's been at a premium. Kaliak-Manis has had the pass game going. That's Ian Strong with his second catch.
And that is the third time they've hit that exact route against this defense. Having success. It's man coverage against the slot. Corner route. Well thrown ball. Rutgers trying to get 2 possessions here. So they're going to get the ball after the third.
Tempo and on the money again. This time KJ Duff. Is this the same passing game from last week?
Well, look, we were here in training camp. You could tell the efficiency, again, the discernment of Ethan Kaliak-Manis. His command is the thing that stands out. We're seeing it on this drive. Every defensive lineman is standing out.
Manungai is tackled around the kneecaps by Sharif Say. UCLA 7 yards of play. You think that must be the best of the game? Rutgers is 8 yards per play so far today. Another big gain and another connection with Ian Strong.
Yeah, this game is so beautiful because when players are asked to step up and elevate, they either answer the bell or they don't. And for both of these teams, they have. Ethan Kaliak-Manis, the last 2 weeks, not nearly as accurate as he was in the spring or in training camp or early this fall. We're seeing him play his most efficient ball game of the season right now in Big Ten play.
3 catches for 59 yards for Strong today. That was a 12-yard pickup. Pressure, another long throw, looking for Strong that time. There was some contact. Rutgers sideline wants a flag on Kalen Moore, but they're not getting it. Kaliak-Manis, check down Manungai, ball's out, incomplete pass. Hopefully he's going to be okay. And, you know, obviously we got halftime coming up, and maybe that'll give him some time. But he's meant so much to this program, not just winning and losing, it's what he represents. And now they got to go to Antoine Raymond. And that is good. And they know Rutgers is getting the ball first in the second half. Jones is going to fair catch it. Ethan Garbers had plenty of time to catch his breath after that 49-yard. Garbers spins out and it loses a yard. So after the Rutgers timeout, second down. Garbers, Monteval open all day long and a big gainer. That's 20 yards for UCLA, and they're moving quickly.
Yeah, that's a nice job by the Bruins recognizing zone defense, not the traditional man-to-man coverage zone again.
Garbers gets it out to Keegan Jones. He makes a man miss, sprints down the sideline and is forced out, but he's in Rutgers territory. Garbers gets it down to Jones again. Nice catch by the running back. He gets out of bounds after a short gain. Garbers quick again. Loya spins away from a tackler. And Logan Loya, another first down for the Bruins. Clock stops while they place the ball.
I'd imagine this is an opportunity. Oh, they're going to go. They're going to roll with it here. Seconds are ticking off the clock.
And Garbers just puts it in the ground. Clock stops at 27 seconds. Let's go back to the previous play. Sturdivant, the man in motion. Garbers gets it out quick. TJ Harden, touchdown Bruins. In the half, that's the most this year. And Yogi, this is the first time UCLA scored 20 points in a game. Here's the thing. UCLA was up 10 last week at the half at home. Minnesota came back on them, and Rutgers is going to get the ball first. Injured at the end of the first half on a tackle. He was warming up with the team in the second half, but it's Antoine Raymond out there to start this third quarter, and Ethan Garbers to throw. And it's the third catch of the game for Dymere Miller. Rutgers only had 3 possessions, plus, one at the end of the half, 22 seconds, kneel it out. Kyle Monangai back into the game for Rutgers at running back. Kaliakmanis right on the money. And they've gone back to him today. The whole passing game has opened up through a variety of targets. Now Monangai breaking through and looking healthy all the way down to the 15-yard line. Back to him. No. Fake. Miller upended. And a nice gain on first down. Brian Addison there for the tackle.
Every coach is going to make adjustments. Kurt Shiraka, the offensive coordinator for Rutgers, doing his as well as we see a little hurry up.
This was effective at the first half. Then it stalled out. Monangai right into the end zone. Kaliakmanis to throw. Pressure. Gets away from the first man, but then he goes down. The population of LA at the time was 5,000 people.
Spring their leader for a touchdown.
TJ Harden to start UCLA's.
Let's see if they do that. Go against the grain a little bit.
Look at those numbers for Garbers. 224 yards. 21 of 25 passing. Bails on the pocket here and gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
One high safety, man-to-man.
And Garbers gets sacked. Team for Rutgers that's out there. That's the way they look at it, not punt return. Brody Richter's first chance because Chase Garbers handled the other punt. That one's muffed, but Drummel's able to jump on it. And now Rutgers, after a touchdown to start the second half and forcing a 3-and-out, the first of the day, goes back to Kyle Monangai. And he breaks a tackle and falls forward.
From Oluwafemi, Oladejo, and Jay Toia.
This time they throw right on the money. Miller, pitch and catch with Dyer. Back to Monangai. Cut back. Shoulder down. Good luck. And Raymond back in at running back. Pressure coming up the middle. And Kaliakmanis throws it off the fingertips of Logan Blake. Oladejo backs out. And that was just over his fingertips to Monangai after a short breather, and he gets bottled up. Oladejo, the first man there. Kane Medrano came to help. They snap it. Kaliakmanis cuts it loose. Complete. Chris Long.
But again, the accuracy is phenomenal.
Personal foul. Targeting. Defense number 49.
Look at the throw.
Automatic first down.
And then we'll get to the penalty.
To me, this looks like a legal hit. He is
After
defensive.
review, there is no targeting on the play. The result of the play is a first down.
For UCLA. Kaliakmanis keeping it. He gets the edge. And then he gets pulled down after a gain of about 5 yards. Monangai. And he gets cut down.
There's that one-legged tackle. We talked to Kaika Malloy, the defensive coordinator for UCLA, and he said, look, the style in which Kyle Monangai runs with, right? He's so low to the ground, it's hard to get under his pads. So you got to think of it like wrestling, like rugby. Try to grab that one leg. They did on the previous snap.
Back to tempo, and not much there for Monangai. Schlesinger. And movement up front. try and make it a 2-point game. Patel 1 for 1 today, and that is right through. Yeah, Summer Luge. So after the field goal, 2-point game, and they've only had 1 possession in the second half. They went 3 and out. Rutgers has scored a touchdown, kicked a field goal. Ethan Garbers was on fire in the first half, and he starts this drive with Logan Loya. I mean, he's just so reliable. Go back to him and get 8 yards.
Look, I think when you're going up against this defense, work the slot. How about this catch? Watch him reach back. And then I love how he gets north and south, picks up a block from Matavao, his tight end. And he is just so sure-handed, so savvy, steady. Good to see him healthy.
He seems to have such good feel for who's around him. Remember, he had that kind of spin move in the first half where he turned away from the tackler for a first down. This is 2nd and 2. Keegan Jones the back. Garbers looking his way. He's open down the sideline. Keegan Jones is racing. Keegan Jones, nothing but the taillights. Touchdown, Bruins. '67 yards.
Another explosive play, and Ethan Garber sees this one. He comes back all the way from his left to right, uncovered. Moses Walker isn't there, finds it to Keegan Jones. And to your point, nothing but taillights on the turnpike right here for the Bruins. Another explosive play. Going to take a penalty. I don't think UCLA has enough guys.
Delay a game offense. 5-yard penalty. The try will be attempted from the 8-yard line.
These are the kick block kings in red. And UCLA gets it away. The penalty, no harm.
The guy we started talking the game about doesn't have a catch. Right? Might be the most explosive one of them all. At least as a wide receiver down the field.
Christian Dremel will fair catch it. If you're not going to get booed here, where are you going to get booed? Oladejo after a gain of 2 from Monangai with the tackle. Remember, UCLA played, they're used to, they play a home game. Everybody comes from the other team. They had 12 to 15,000 Minnesota fans at the Rose Bowl last week, kind of disrupting a little bit of a home field. And plenty of Bruin fans making this. This is a great trip. It's an easy trip.
They came in on Thursday. If you're an alum or a donor, you find your way into the city. Maybe you see a show and you come on over here for a perfect day in this beautiful stadium.
Kaliakmanis tried to break the pocket, and then Schlesinger brings him down. Schlesinger only had 2 tackles in the first half. He has 5 in the second half.
A nice job in the first half, just Rutgers offensively. They take a listen to this one. He's tracking him the whole time. Eyes up, works his way through it. You know what's really fun about Schlesinger? Rhett told the story about Kyle Monangai earlier. He just bet on himself, right? He walked on senior season during COVID. Nobody's recruiting him. So this is where I wanted to play. Now he's got the C on his chest.
His older sister went to UCLA. She just moved out here, so she's at the game today. Kaliakmanis steps up, and Schlesinger is there. Yeah, I mean, the similarities, 2 of the kind of the heartbeats of these 2 programs, right? Monangai and Schlesinger, you're talking about. Not only both had limited opportunities. Schlesinger's only chance was to walk on at UCLA. Monangai, Ivy Leagues, and Cal. Both of them are where they are because their high school coach called the program and said, trust me, take this guy.
And both guys clearly have made their impact felt. What I love watching about Schlesinger on film is that he rarely leaves his feet. Right? Just driving on contact.
Jacob Anderson to punt it away. And Logan Loya is going to fair catch this back at the 30.
Who was the running backs coach at the time, and that's why they trust him.
Another completion to a tight end, Bryce Pierre, here for Ethan Garbers to start this drive and pick up a 6. Yeah, that's a rare opportunity, right? You're a scout team linebacker, and the position coach that you become tight with becomes the head coach.
Well, I think they're just looking for so many players that can reflect the core values of Deshaun Foster. He talks about discipline, respect, enthusiasm being the foundational pillars of the program. And when you look at the linebacker, you see all 3 of them in spades.
Garbers gets it out quick. That is Quasi Gilmer's second catch today.
Yeah, you know, guys, the tight ends were the leaders in the pass game for UCLA in the first half. We were talking about how they were kind of utilizing that position group to find some easy completions. And, you know, I asked Deshaun Foster about that coming off the field at the half, and he said it's not a specific game plan thing. It's just Garbers. It's his ability to find the open man. And you guys remember we were asking him, hey, what was it about Sturdivant last week that found that connection? He was like, he was just getting open. And in this offense, when you get open, I get you the ball.
They're going to sneak it here on 3rd down and short. The second effort gets it. Garber stays on his feet and holds onto the football with all his might.
He's just got a way about him. You're thinking, oh, he might be stuffed here. Look at his feet. They don't stop. That's what you want to teach your quarterback on these QB sneaks. Keep your feet moving no matter what. Stay low. 2 hands on the ball. Almost busts out for another run, and he's saying, hey, how about me yards per carry?
Yeah.
Pretty impressive today.
I don't know because I haven't seen the footage, but it might have looked something like that in 1869, right? That was
old school.
Garber's 6 yards a carry today, since you asked. 49-yard touchdown run in the first half. Jalen Berger, Kyle Monangai's high school teammate. It sounds like Deshaun Foster just told Rhett it's all 4-down territory from here. Jalen Berger cuts back, stays on his feet, and he's got the first down. Malcolm Ray, the injured Rutgers player, was able to walk off. And so after the timeout, Ethan Garbers taking a shot for J. Michael Sturdivant. And a flag comes in and 2 flags come in. Bo Masco might have got a hold of the jersey. 3rd penalty of the day for Rutgers. Quick throw, get it out to Gilmer, and he is tackled immediately. Garbers fakes the delay, now throws. There's Monteval, the tight end with the catch, and he's down inside the 10. 20 yards on that play. Berger, you know they'd love to get Berger 2nd down and goal. Garbers looking. Garbers, he didn't see Berger wide open, but he spins out to the end zone, and he throws it over Loya's head. Garbers to Berger. Berger sees red in his home state. Touchdown.
Really impressive. It's crossing routes underneath. I'm thinking they're running that shallow cross, and the whole time Ethan Garbers and company are setting up that little screen to Berger, executed flawlessly.
Pagani.
Between Monangai and Rutgers and Jalen Berger at 1-1. So this might be the rubber match here, fellas.
The first half of this season with all the pressure in the backfield, the offensive line changes. He showed up today in a huge way.
Kaliak-Manis throws complete to Ben Black. And Black gets out of bounds just shy of the line again. I mean, Monangai's got 6 yards of carry in this game, but now's not really, can you use him here?
Well, you want to use him in some element, whether it's a decoy out of the backfield. They didn't use him a lot in the passing game, but he is incredible in protection.
Quick throw behind Black, incomplete, flag down Brian Addison. 2 extra offensive linemen out there. And Kaliak-Manis gets the first.
And I think when you look at the score, you're thinking, okay, Bruins got this thing. No way. I mean, the way Rutgers moved the ball at times in this ball game, I would imagine they're going to find that rhythm again. Not true 2-minute offense, but one with true tempo. Kaliak-Manis has had a day today. He's found ways to get his receivers the ball in a variety of ways. He's been extremely accurate. They got a chance to move the ball down the field here. They got to have a little bit of urgency.
Their 2 touchdown drives, Yogi, are combined 6.5 minutes. So they have really, their touchdown drive to start this half was just over 2 minutes. Kaliak-Manis into coverage, and that's broken up. KJ Duff, the intended receiver, and that was well covered by Devin Kirkwood.
He's all over this thing. Just sitting on the route was Kirkwood. And I think right now for UCLA, they're saying, hey, we're going to play man-to-man coverage. Let's see if you can beat us in that regard. If I'm Rutgers, I'm coming back to the slot. Find a way to get Dymere Miller the ball. He's matched up at the bottom of the screen against KJ Wall. It's been a fun matchup to watch all game long, and they might be double covering him with a safety over the top.
Kelly McManus looking for Miller. Now he's going to come back to the near sideline to KJ Duff, and he's got it all the way down inside the 10-yard line.
And if you love receiver play, guy, this is so fun because it's a win at the line of scrimmage on the release. Kelly McManus looks the safety off, comes right back, an absolute dime to the freshman Duff, and they're in business.
So Strong and Duff, two young receivers, have big games today. Monangai bounces it, and he's in. Rutgers right back into the end zone. They're down 16. So now they got it down to 10, trying to get it to 8. Kelly McManus, quick throw. He's got it out to Miller. Miller tackled. 10-point game here at Rutgers. There's the Yogi Roth cheering section. Was there. And a fair catch for UCLA. Quick throw to Harden. Greg Schiano said, hey, are you the guy that had the 15-yard?
Yeah, sure was. That dig route heard around the world. Yeah. I can just remember his programs back in the day in the Big East. They were so tough, so gritty, always a tough out. And then that just continued to grow, and now he's back leading this program, and there's no way they're going to lay down. Part of their mantra is chop. Just keep chopping wood. Just keep going back to work. They need to stop here on 2nd and 10.
10 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. 3-man rush. Garbers. There is Monteval. The tight end has been so clutch today in big spots, long yardage, wide open.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ethan Garbers, his ability to step up and climb in the pocket. He feels a little pressure, climbs no problem, eyes always downfield, finds what has been his favorite target today in Monteval. It's just so impressive. And I just go back to Rutgers, guy. I mean, they're missing two of their best edge rushers in Aaron Lewis and Wesley Bailey, guys that traditionally get home.
Harden puts his head down for a couple. That puts a lot of pressure on DJ Jabome, Keontae Hamilton.
And the way that they're checking it down, the way they're deploying all of their receivers. I mean, the spacing today for Deshaun Foster and Eric Bieniemy, this offense for UCLA, has been as impressive and efficient as we've seen all season. Look at them now, right? They're spreading out, really just challenging the eyes of the defense and those linebackers that you referenced.
Garbers flips it to Gilmer. First down.
Bring pressure. Garbers can feel it. I think earlier in the season, it felt as though he wasn't seeing ghosts, but it felt as though you're anticipating pressure. Garbers on that snap knew pressure was coming, stayed not tall, but strong in the pocket, knew that his receiver was eventually going to be open on a crosser, delivered the strike. Chains continue to move. Clock continues to roll.
31 of 36, 375 yards. Harden keeps the clock moving. Yeah, what a journey for Ethan Garbers, right? He's from Southern California, Newport Beach. Goes up to University of Washington. Thinks maybe he'll be the next guy there. Comes to UCLA, and you know, obviously UCLA had a quarterback named Dorian Thompson-Robinson who had a long career, and so you're sitting, you're waiting, get the opportunity. Last year, coaching change, coordinator change, learning a new offense. He wondered, will it ever come together in time for me, right? That had to cross his mind. And it looks like it is. Keegan Jones dancing several times before he finally gets tripped up. Clock running under 7.5. Big third down. Garbers, pressure, just gets it out to avoid the sack. Jordan Walker was bringing the heat, and now it's 4th and 7.
And there was nowhere to go with the ball. UCLA decides to take a shot down the field on a little double move. Nothing doing. There really was no outlet. You're going to see right here, these two receivers, they're going to go down the field. Garbers wants to take a shot. There's no real outlet. That's covered up. Garbers has to eat it, take the sack.
And so now the field goal team on. Mateen Bagani to try and hit a 50-yarder. His career high was 54 against Oregon about 3 weeks ago. Out of the hole to Chase Berry. And whistles. The practice kick.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Wow.
4th down.
What a bad spot for a delay a game. That kick had plenty of leg. Yeah. But again, we're talking about kick block university on the other side, right? This is what Rutgers does. So now it's 55. Ball's away. It's got the leg, but he pulled it. That drive resulted in a touchdown and a failed 2-point. Kaliak-Manis steps up on the back hit where it's caught by KJ Duff.
And that's the one. That's the miss. That's a spot throw. You put it on the front number, and Duff is still running. Nice job climbing the pocket.
What a
nice catch.
Second really nice catch for Duff today. Back to Monungai. Monungai's stiff arm and Caden Medrano brings him down, but after a Rutgers first down.
Man.
Pressure picked up. Kaliak-Manis, long throw, intercepted. Brian Addison steps up and takes it away.
It looks like it's single high safety. On the snap, he drops it too high, and as the play unfolds, he drives on that corner route. Sudden change, turnover for the Bruins, and Addison gets another interception on the season.
He had a pick 6 against Oregon. That's the first turnover of the day for either team. And now here's Berger feeling his way forward to midfield. Play clock low. UCLA using all of it. And they go back to Berger.
And then bringing enthusiasm every single time you hit that practice field. We've seen that today in all 3 areas of his principles.
Third down here. Garbers. Tough catch on the recatch. It's made for UCLA here on first down. And they'll run it to Berger. To the point on Deshaun Foster, his dad. You said military man, right?
Approaching 3 minutes left in the game.
Handoff inside to Berger. For Garbers today, the 383 passing yards, the most since Dorian Thompson-Robinson back in 2019.
They've answered the bell, though, just like he'd hoped they would in that boxing analogy he uses every single week with this program.
Third down, looking to throw again. Garbers, ball came out, and it's taken away. Rutgers has the football.
The ruling on the field is a fumble that was caught by the defense. It's 1st and 10.
Keontae Hamilton just took it away right into his stomach. UCLA throwing on third down.
Yeah, surprising call here to throw it. And you're right, Hamilton, remember, he moves from tackle to end in this ball game due to injuries for Rutgers.
The former wrestler, he's a star, a heavyweight in high school, of course, and then at Rutgers he wrestled as well. Now Kaliak-Manis, big pump, loading up, big throw, into coverage, a lot of contact, incomplete, looking for Miller.
Double move, looked like both players ended up running out of bounds before coming on back in. But how about Keontae Hamilton? He's a great story. 25th start today. Got engaged in this very stadium. I mean, it's awesome to learn about these players when we're on campus. But now for this offense, they got to continue to find a way. I'd work in between the hashes guy. For UCLA, they got to keep everything in front.
Manungai. He looks as fresh as the moment this game started, and he was on the injury report. He was questionable to start this game, left the game at the end of the first half with an injury, returned in the second half, and he's running hard. Now it's third down, 4 to go. Kaliakmanis to the sideline, caught first down, Christian Dremel.
The biggest thing for UCLA is while you're playing off, you can't allow Rutgers just to move their way down the field. I'm a big fan of these situations, of pressing the receivers a little bit, trying to force the ball out of the quarterback's hands, see if you can impact the throw.
Sideline again, Dremel again, first down again.
The Rutgers keeping their same personnel grouping out on the field, forcing UCLA to stay the same way. The Bruins roll with 3 linebackers, Ali Cajo, number 10, being the third of the 3.
Kaliakmanis steps up, and he gets down after a gain of 2 or 3. Not a lot of push on the defensive line right now.
None at all. I mean, they're all standing up, just trying to make sure they keep everything in front of them. They look they look tired out there, but they're not. There's zero pass rush that we've seen in the last 2 snaps. They're trying to mirror the quarterback.
This comes out to Ben Black, trying to get to the sideline. He can't, as he's twisted up by Kirkwood, and we tick towards 2 minutes. And they get another play off here. Trying to get to 7-0. Third down and short in a 2-point game here for Rutgers. Pressure coming. Kaliakmanis throws too high for Chris Long, and now a late flag comes in.
Personal foul. Defense number 11. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
And you just got to know when to pull up, right? I mean, the ball's out of bounds. I know it's hard. It's the extension of the arms. That's where they're going to call it. It's an easy call for the officials. And it would have been a tough decision for Rutgers. Do they kick the field goal, or do they go for it on 4th and short? Now they got life on first down inside the 15.
Manungai stands beside Kaliakmanis. Pressure coming. Throws it. End zone, batted away, and a flag comes in on Jalen Davies.
Yeah, I think Davies is holding that left arm. Again, you're looking to see, is the receiver, is he impeded?
Defense number 6, the foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Take a look at it. Yeah, it's that left arm. Those are hard if you're a DB. I get it, man. But anytime there's any sort of struggle from a receiver, catching one of those fade balls, they're going to call the flag, the PI.
Going to Duff, and it's broken up, and a flag comes in.
It's the same thing. It's the right arm around his back. Anytime the receiver cannot freely get access to the ball.
Pass interference. Defense number 6, half the distance to the goal. It's first down.
You'll see it again. See that right arm of Davies? The official staring right at it. A little bit of a pull on the jersey. There it is.
You know, you've got Manungai, but you also don't have any timeouts.
That's right.
And the clock really matters.
Little zone read right here, opportunity.
They'll give it to him. And Manungai is shy. So now it's 2nd and goal, but seconds are coming off the clock.
Yeah, look, you don't want to be frenetic. You want to call the right play right now. You know, if you score a touchdown, you're going to kick the onside kick. You score here, save yourself a little bit of time in that regard.
The ruling of the runner short of the goal line is under review.
All right, so we'll see if we can get a look at this here.
Okay, so now if you're Rutgers, you're giving your offense 2 plays. And you're saying, okay, this is what we're running right here. If we don't get in, if we don't get in again, here's the next play. As we take a look to see if Manungai is in the first place.
Oh.
After review, the runner did break the goal line plane. The result of the play is a touchdown.
to make it a field goal game, and he does. Here comes Patel. Big hop, and it's caught. UCLA is going to put this game away. Touchdown. Wow. Grant Gray. And now whistles. Unbelievable. On offense, his first career touchdown.
Previous play is under review for a potential fair catch signal given by the receiving team.
So if anybody gives a fair catch signal, then it's a fair catch, even if it's not the person who catches the ball. So let's see if we see a fair catch signal.
Let's look at that front line.
Ooh,
Oh,
yep.
there it is, right there.
Logan Loya. And so victory formation for UCLA.
Just want to play smart here if you're the Bruins. Tremendous discipline here at the end. What a hard-fought game. Both sides. Eric Bieniemy. Good for him and Deshaun Foster and Coach Shiano. He was so excited to see some young players play. He said, hey, our guys are going to play. They're not going to lay down. They didn't. They didn't. They played the whole game. They fought. They battled. Came up just a few plays short.
Well, what about for UCLA, right? Their fans, they've seen one of the toughest schedules in all of college football this year. And then they saw a heartbreaking close home loss last week at Minnesota. Or at home to Minnesota. And they had to go all the way across the country for their first Big Ten win, but they're going to get their first Big Ten win.
Yeah, well, the good thing about going all the way across the country and getting that first win is that flight all the way back across the country that I know they will enjoy, and they should, to your point. I mean, one of the, I think the most challenging stretch in the nation. I mean, Indiana, look at them. They should be a top 10 team based on what we've seen from them this season. We'll see them in person next week. LSU, Oregon, Penn State, to your point on Minnesota. I mean, it's just been brutal for them. But that's what you get every week for the most part in the Big Ten. The Bruins, nobody gave them any favors, and today they came out. And as head coach Deshaun Foster told us and told his team this week, he said, look, you've got to earn it. They have earned their first Big Ten conference win. And Ethan Garbers, I got a feeling he's not going to be giving that ball away anytime soon.
Game ball worthy performance for him. 383 yards, career high, 4 passing touchdowns, a 49-yard rushing touchdown. Deshaun Foster takes over at his alma mater.